It's presidential, the outcome evidential. We strive for higher mental. This time, no accidental. We shine because
Your boy is an author family. What a beautiful day to kick the show off and let y'all know about the book Grateful, right? Go get it, man. Go check it out. It's on your Kindle. We got it paperback, hardback, whatever you need. This is my first book as an author. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of everybody that's supporting, man. Let's go. Beautiful day.
we all here to iron.
Hey man, shout outs to Iron Mastery Academy. That's the academy that's teaching people how to learn and earn on the go, teaching people how to invest and be on the right side of money. Shout outs to Doc Spills and all the educators over there that's teaching people, whether it's levels, colors, harmonics, with simply teaching people how to learn and invest. And you can just match your colors. That's what we learned from day one. So get with me. That's at Read, Remember, Repeat, or at Big Mugga. Those are my Instagrams. And let's get this money, family.
If you listen to those raps, the shit is minimal.
Gang, to another episode. Read, Remember, Repeat. And it is your host with the most, Michael Boyd, a.k.a. Mugga Boy. You know what I mean? We back another day. I'm here to welcome you guys another day to another knowledge session, right? Shout outs to 50. Shout outs to 50 putting out a book. You know what I mean? We all watched him growing up. You know what I mean? He did a lot for the culture. And if you looked up to him growing up, and you can see how he changed his life to make a lot of boss moves, business moves, you know what I mean? And put himself in those positions to move forward, to grow. You know what I mean? You got to salute that, man. Shout outs to 50, man. Chapter 7, If We Can't Be Friends. I don't know if y'all can see that. Chapter 7. Okay, that's how we doing it. Disagreement is something normal. The Dalai Lama. For years, I didn't like Oprah Winfrey. She's not the type of person, tough, smart, and powerful, you want to have an issue with. But I felt a type of way about the things she said about hip-hop music in the past. It seemed like every time Oprah would go off about how hip-hop was misogynist and ruining America's youth, she was talking about the same things on my album. What actually bothered me was being kept off her show. I wanted to be on it. Oprah was there, A-listers. Oprah was where A-listers would go to promote their projects, sell books, movies, albums, hype movies. I consider myself a A-lister. So how does that look that I'm not there too? I felt I had my absence to my audience. I felt I had to explain my absence to my audience. So as I tend to do, I kept it real about the situation. I did a few interviews where I said the reason Oprah wouldn't have me on her couch is because she's a reflection of her audience, which is made up of middle-aged white women. That audience finds me scary, so it would figure Oprah wouldn't be into me either. I also named one of my dogs after her, which I admit was a bit much. After I made those comments, I didn't spend a lot of time worrying about how Oprah might take them. She'd already made it clear I wasn't coming on her show, so why did I care about her upset? Why did I care about upset her? She had her business to run. For the record, I think she should have kept her afternoon TV show after she started on, and I had mine. Then one night, I was at a fundraiser in New York City for the NYRP, a nonprofit founded by Betty Midler. It's a fantastic organization that sponsors a lot of renewal programs of parks and neglected areas of New York City. It wasn't my normal crowd, a lot of older white people in tuxedos, but I love Betty and respect the cause, so I bought a table. At one point in the evening, I bumped into Gayle King, Oprah's best friend. Now, Gayle is the real deal, a very sophisticated, secure, and smart lady. She's never afraid of a situation, as she showed with the R. Kelly interview. So she marched right up to me and basically said, "Why you talking shit about my girl?" I had to explain to Gayle that I didn't have a true beef with Oprah. "Listen, I love to be Oprah's friend," I continued. "But if we can't be friends, could we at least be enemies?" When I said that, I saw Gayle arch her eyebrows and look at me a bit differently. It registered with her that while I might have been talking trash about her friend, there was a method to what I was doing. "Okay, you're different than I thought," Gayle told me. "I'm going to tell Oprah she needs to meet you. You two need to talk. True to her word, Gail set it up for me to be on Oprah's show. It was a great episode. She came to my old house in Queens, met my grandmother, and walked around the neighborhood with me. Eventually, we got to our relationship. Did you say things to be proactive, she asked, or did you just not like me? I would see moments where you would discuss your feelings on the culture, rap culture, and everything that was wrong with the culture on my CD. I said with a smile. And I was like, she doesn't like me. You're talking about the N-word, asked Oprah? Misogyny, all of those things, views against women, violence, just things like that, Oprah replied, not backing down. Just those little things, I said, laughing. In that moment, I'm thinking, she don't like me because there are so many different impressions. And not to say those things were wrong, but it made me say, if I can't be a friend, at least let me be an enemy so I can coexist. I said before adding, I just use it as a strategy. We're going to hit y'all with some sauce real quick, some remember, repeat sauce. We're going to come right back. Stay tuned.
Dope. That's what's up. Now, you just spoke about reading, man, and that's something you don't hear a lot about in hip-hop and with rappers and with, to be honest, just people or black people, period.
Hip-hop generation.
Most definitely.
Can you express to people how important it is to read? Because I personally think that if you read, even if you didn't finish college or this, that, and the third, but if you read, you can educate yourself. Can you express that to the people out there?
I feel the same way, bro. I didn't really graduate high school. I left early when I was like 14, but I was always, had books around me. My mom always, kept books in the house, and it made it important that I was well versed.
Yeah.
So it's a habit I just kept as I grew older.
Yeah.
And I just read things I was interested in. I started off reading magazines, That's how I learned about hip-hop culture outside of LA.
Right.
By reading like XXL and The Source, hearing about classic albums from other places and all that.
Right.
And then, like, anything I was interested in, I read the magazines about it.
Right.
And I just started getting into books. And just like you said, a lot of my best ideas, a lot of my business savvy, which I ain't the smartest dude, but I know what I know. Came from books. Like I read books about the industry. I read books about the deals that was done in the industry.
Right.
And these dudes, held out and made certain decisions that empowered them for the rest of their career.
And speaking.
Yes. And we are back. Oh, that's interesting, said Oprah. Looking at one of her procedures off camera. Looking at one of her producers off camera. Sorry, guys, these are some small words. Looking at her producers off camera. The reason Gail and Oprah were so intrigued by that phrase was because it shattered their preconceived notions about me. Before meeting me, they had bought into the 50 Cent persona that this was someone who got into beefs and drama because he just couldn't help himself. But when I said at least me be an enemy, they understood that when I got into a beef, it was never driven by emotion. Instead, I was moving off of strategy. My strategy was pretty straightforward. I'd always prefer to be friends with someone, but if they're not interested, then I consider them being an enemy, the next best option. Why? Because if you hate me, you're more likely to talk about me. If you feel passionately about me in a negative way, at some point, you'll probably say to your friend, man, I can't stand 50 Cent. Your subject of a conversation, your friend is going to ask you why. And just like that, I'll become the subject of a conversation. That's all I'm asking for. Now, I've got a foot in the door. Maybe after hearing about me, your friend won't feel quite as negative. Maybe they'll think this guy sounds kind of interesting. I'll check out his music or watch Power. Maybe that's even how you get this book in the first place. Through a friend. That conversation would have never taken place if you felt neutral about me. No one asks their friends if they listen to a song they feel neutral about. No one mentions a writer or a designer that they doesn't elicit a strong reaction in them. We only bring up things we love or things we hate. I'd always prefer the love, but if I can't get that, I'll take the hate. There's always a chance I can turn that hate into something positive. The ancient Greeks believed in a concept called agon, which roughly translates to the idea of people coming together for purposes of a contest or competition. To the Greeks, the most basic energy in the world was a battle between two forces. A debate was a fight between two people over an idea. Exercise is a fight between energy and fatigue. Study is a fight between you and the material. Every new day is a fight between light and darkness. The Greeks didn't shy away from those fights. They believed that competition in any form was beneficial. Their most famous example of putting that belief into action was the organized athletic competition they created, which today we know as the Olympics. The Greeks valued the Olympics so much that they would actually stop battles in the middle of the fighting so that contestants could walk through unharmed and make it to the games on time. Today, the Olympics give out silver and bronze medals to contestants who don't win. The ancient Greeks didn't believe in participation trophies. Each competition had only one winner. The victor went back to his village a hero, and everyone else went home a loser. The ancient Greeks' attitude toward competition reminds me of hip-hop culture today. Since day one, every rapper who picked up the mic has wanted to be acknowledged as the best who ever did it. No rapper is competing for a silver or bronze medal. Every single one of us got into the game to take home the gold. That mindset was born in hip-hop's roots in the streets. That dynamic, for better or worse, keeps the culture youthful. Unless you can keep your grip on the throne, it's out with the old and in with the new. Because of my upbringing, I'm extremely comfortable with the concept of competition. I don't care if it's music, TV, clothes, liquor, or sneakers. If I'm looking to get into a space that someone else is already occupying, watch how fast I turn it into competition. Some people shy or even run away from challenge, but I always stroll confidently towards it. It's a sensibility that's earned me a reputation as a bully in the minds of many. I rarely dispute the title, but it's an over-amplification. I don't wake up in the morning looking to pick fights with people. I don't celebrate conflict. Again, I'd rather be friends, but if someone says they want a problem with me, I'll respond, no problem. But it's never a problem for me to compete. Competition brings out the best. Family, you already know. Let's start this day off beautiful. Let's go out and handle what we gotta handle and make it back home to our families. Bless up. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you, God, for another reason. Number of peace. Just like that.
Bitcoin rising, this shit is visible. If you listen to those raps, this shit is minimal.
And make sure you guys are juicing, man. Make sure you're getting that 100% cold pressed juice at Rise Juice.
This medicinal loud. I get the feeling that you wishing you could go get it now. Everybody that's around start to look like a crowd.